Now, why are men overrepresented in the statistics that we consider bad? More than 90% of the prison population is male. The rate of suicide among men is more than 3 times higher than the rate for women, and 83% of high-risk drivers are blokes. Well, those involved in men's health say the reason is obvious. Men have become disconnected and they can't express themselves. They also say the solution is pretty obvious as well. They need to get men together, get them talking, not about rugby, but about what's going on inside, about their feelings and their emotions. So, are they right? Our reporter Tristram Clayton went to a men's retreat to find out.
Halfway up the Coromandel Peninsula, there's a place of special beauty. A place where giants come to rest, tui come to feed, and men come to be empowered. The 24 men present come from all over the world. There are doctors, vets and advertising executives. There's a blind man and a high school student. And on the way to join them, there's me. I'm off to the Coromandel to take part in a 4-day men's retreat. Now, according to the flyer, it will be 4 days of breathing in the spirit of the mountain and sharing the ritual of the sweat lodge. Now, I have no idea what that means or what to expect, but I do know it's vegetarian and alcohol-free. Cheers. An hour later, and with my heart in my throat, I arrive.
Welcome to the fire. Special welcome to men who haven't been here before, and another special welcome to all of you who have been many times.
After the welcome, the initiation ceremony begins in earnest.
Part of all our associations comes right around our name. So
our final task is to give ourselves animal or totem names. Somehow I end the day as Morpork. Day 1 starts with Tai Chi on the main lawn. It's my first attempt at the slow-moving martial art.
Now, what happens when you push more? Keep pushing. What happens? You're losing your balance.
But the perfect way to prepare for a discussion about the 4 core qualities of man. The king, the warrior, the magician, and today's focus, the lover.
Who would be more likely to get caught in the addictive side of the lover? Who would tend to find themselves under stress to go into the impotent side, to lose their power? If we don't understand, if we don't develop awareness within ourselves and we don't have an understanding of what's going on in our inner life, things start getting acted out. It's a big step up to take this place.
The man in charge is Sol Peterson,
right.
Tai Chi teacher, counsellor and co-founder of the retreat.
Yeah.
Sol's been organising men's retreats for more than 20 years, but says the need for men of all ages to group together has never been stronger.
There are men who come here who still feel like boys. They might be 40, 50 years old, and they feel like there's something that never happened in their life. There's something they never came up against, some strong force, like maybe they never had that grandfather who was really there. They never had that uncle.
Initially, it was kind of quite strange and scary for me because I was, the real Kiwi bloke, rugby league player, drank the beer and all of that kind of stuff. And I still like watching footy and all of that kind of thing, but I like relationship now. I really enjoy the presence of people in my life, and they've become my focus and what's important to me.
Day 2, and today we're focusing on the warrior side of man, and that means no breakfast or lunch. It also means it's time for the sweat lodge.
The sweat lodge is a kind of intentional kind of suffering in a way. We're dedicating this discomfort and we're opening ourselves up. We're not resisting it. We're saying, yeah, sometimes it is uncomfortable. And I look to something greater than myself.
For someone who has difficulty spending more than 5 minutes in a sauna, the idea of being slow cooked in a tiny hobbit house is terrifying. But my warrior side is itching to be let out. So Sweat Lodge, here I come. So I've just survived my first ever Sweat Lodge, and it was hard, really, really hard. Basically, it was 4 hours of overwhelming heat, total darkness, and 25 naked, sweating, chanting men. So it was hell, really, hell in a pizza oven. But it was also incredibly rejuvenating. Every single pore of my skin has been totally cleansed, and all the stresses and worries and baggage you carry around in your body and your shoulders, but also in here, gone. Day 3 focuses on the magician.
So when that arrow flies, it creates a spin, same as the rifling in a rifle barrel.
The symbolism of making an arrow is obvious. A balanced arrow flies straight and true, clearly the goal for we men.
Yes, we got black. Well done. Was that oak? Oak, first one.
Day 4 is the day of the king. It's a moment to reflect on a powerful journey.
I wasn't really expecting to get anything out of it. It was kind of like a man's group. What's a man's group? Are we just going to sit around in circles and talk about our feelings? And we actually have done quite a bit of that. Since I've been here, it's been good to be able to reflect, kind of. Like, you don't really need someone to point out where you're going wrong, almost. It's like the answers are kind of, you already have them. It's just taking that time to look at them, if you know what I mean.
So, was it life-changing for me? Well, that remains to be seen. But 4 days of deep thought and strong connections have left me clear-minded and focused. And for the first time in a while, I can feel my physical side sitting comfortably alongside the spiritual.
Tristram Clayton reporting there. We know him now as Moore Pork around these parts. Goodness me.